Now this is why I march. I march because equality and equity in our communities is very important to me. I look at my parents and my uncles and my aunts, and I remember the stories that were told to me when I was growing up, and I just feel as if it's now my responsibility to do my part.
Now this is why I march. I march because I feel it's very important to get our young people as well as our older people activated. There's a lot of change that needs to be made. There's a lot of change that has been made. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And I feel it's very important to get us activated, to march, to actually attend meetings, and to just make change happen in our communities.
Now this is why I vote. I march because I want everyone to have their voice to share, and we all deserve to put our thoughts, our emotions into our vote. We all deserve that right. And for DC deserves to be a state. There is no reason why our voice can't be heard.
Now this is why I vote. I march for voting rights in the footsteps of Rabbi Heschel, who marched with Dr. King. I march for voting rights in the names of Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner, 2 white Jewish men and a young black Christian man who marched together and gave their lives for the right to vote. I march because on January 6th, our Capitol was assaulted by a seditious mob of racist, white supremacist, Confederate flag-waving people that were wearing anti-Semitic garb, who threatened our democracy. And I march because I know that our safety comes in our solidarity and the redemption of this nation, despite 400 years of systemic racism, despite 400 years of the legacy of slavery, Jim Crow, and voter suppression. Despite all of that, our redemption will come through our democracy. Vote, vote, vote.
Now this is why I march. I march for the legacy of the past and the future of our young people to ensure they have the quality of life that they deserve.
Now this is why I march. I march because it's the future. I march because I'm marching for democracy. I'm marching for John Lewis. I'm marching for Fannie Lou Hamer. And I'm marching for Martin Luther King Jr.
Now this is why I march. I march because our democracy is in crisis. And we've got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to save it. People like me understand what it's like to bear the brunt of a country where the right to vote is not protected, where your civil rights don't exist under federal law because you're a member of the LGBTQ community, where you can face police violence because of the color of your skin. And we are not going back. We have to win this multiracial democracy. And I'm going to keep marching until we do that.